young and have this fun and be successful. I'm so successful. And girl, you too, you are so young and beautiful and so successful. I'm so successful.
Okay, do you feel pumped up?
I do. Do you? Town Crier. Don't shoot the messenger.
I like your raspy voice. It's very sexy. For all the viewers and listeners today, Georgia thinks she looks terrible. It's not true, but unfortunately, I look incredible.
She does look really, really good.
So we're just keeping going. I've forced Georgia to put the cameras out. I'm sorry.
No, and I refuse to take off my jacket. So I'm wearing a jacket alongside flip-flops and an incongruous dress.
It's roasting in here.
Yeah.
So we might do some editing in post to
block out my face and body in corporeal form.
I absolutely bet when I send this to you, you're going to be like, it's actually fine. I look great.
Let's hope. Yeah. In the meantime.
Town Crier. It's just Green Giant.
I think we're going to get sued, but we don't have the profile to get sued yet.
It's true. And what a beautiful time this is for the pod.
It's very freeing.
We can say things like, every little helps.
Or, that's why mums go to Iceland.
Oh my God. Clive has just messaged, are you podcasting today?
Clive, it's a Monday, and if
yes.
there's anything we are, it's dedicated.
Do you think he can hear us right now?
Clive.
He stayed up to watch the football last night, so he's really tired. Okay, what have you got there?
What have I got there? I've got our episode scaffold
I'm
because
gonna get it.
We're in a new phase of our podcasting venture where we prepare and research for episodes, if you can imagine that.
Thank you so much for all of your feedback so far, all the diehard cryhards listening to the pod. It really means so much to us, and we agree with most of the things you're saying. This is still very much a work in progress, and we are developing our skills in this realm, and we are seeking to improve. So please keep on giving us feedback and critique and commentary. We'd love to know what you think and get involved. Our main feedback from the previous episodes is that they lack structure, which
is undeniable.
Yeah, we've clocked that is the case, and we don't want that. We do want to have fun segments and a bit more of a conversation that doesn't just ramble. So that's what we're going to try and do today.
And we thought we'd begin by sort of doing an episode all about the genesis of this podcast, really, which is a collapse in media literacy.
Yes, this is why we wanted to make something like this. This is where the idea of Town Crier came from. So we thought, let's let you in on that journey and where our heads are at.
But before we get there, I guess it's time to say,
oh yay! Oh yay! Oh yay!
Well, take it away. I want to hear your oh yay first.
Okay. Oh yay! Oh yay! Oh yay, I am developing a very toxic parasocial relationship with a variety of footballers. And I don't know what to do about it. It's very detrimental. But
it's
it's detrimental, but I am so happy. The way I am giddy with these boys. Oh, I love them with all my heart.
And I caught you earlier when we were meant to be working together, just looking at what I believe were pictures of the Norwegian national team.
Yeah,
Haaland, specifically Haaland.
It's really bad. Like, I realized last night that it's now reached heights which are quite concerning, and I'm verging on becoming a crazy stalker. His 2 goals last night they were phenomenal.
Yeah, so he's on track to get the golden boot, right?
Yes, with Messi and Mbappe.
Yeah.
Which is crazy.
Incredible.
This is his first World Cup. He's scored in every single game that he's played. And he's my baby boy. And he's my very good friend and cousin.
And potentially lover.
And
hey! Lover.
I don't know the feeling. I don't know what it is that I feel when I look at him or any of the other footballers. Like, it's O'Reilly, it's Bellingham, it's not Harry Kane. I fucking hate that guy.
I think it's hard to feel maternal towards Harry Kane because he is quite confusingly about 50,000 years old while also being incredibly athletic, fit, and performing at the top of his game.
The reason why I'm so mean to Harry Kane is, again, like, very parasocial. I've developed this weird superstition where I believe that if I nag Harry Kane, like, before every game and in the match, like, if I'm shouting abuse at him, he will deliver. And it's been working so far. So I feel like I can't stop. So Harry Kane's got something to fucking prove. I can't stand the man.
My brother has a similar theory. My brother has stepped out of every match in the final half an hour to 20 minutes, and then England's won.
No way.
So he thinks that he can't watch the coming match.
And maybe he can.
Maybe he can't.
We need all the help we can get because, so guys, if you weren't aware of this, I'm sorry to all the non-football fans, but I do encourage you to get involved while you can because it's almost over and it's really, really, really fun. I've watched every game and this is where it gets difficult because my England boys are about to play my Norwegian boys, aka Holland is about to take us on, and I don't know what I'm gonna do when I'm at the pub on Saturday and Holland is scoring and I can't contain my pride and joy and I'm whooping.
Maybe you need to go to a Norwegian pub in London.
Are there those things?
That must be. We have Norwegian churches in London.
I feel like Norway's not a very pubby
Yeah,
place.
maybe not. It's a fish place. You can go to a fish restaurant and watch Haaland score.
Yes, with some mackerel.
Some mackerel.
I don't think I know much about Norway. I know about Norwegian history, which
Oh.
also makes this game with England so interesting because let's just say it's a battle 1,000 years in the making.
Really? Tell me more.
Well,
Summarize Norwegian history in a sentence for me, please.
I'll summarize it in a word. Vikings.
Of course.
That was 1,000 years ago, right?
Okay, great. That's a good oh yay.
Thank you. If anyone has any advice on what I should do to ground myself and not become insane in the next 2 weeks, please, I'm all ears because I wake up every day. I have to watch all the highlights. I have to look at all the meme accounts. I have to look at the football accounts. I'm living my life entirely dependent on these boys. So it's not healthy, but it's bringing me so much joy.
Okay, and speaking of being dependent on a boy, but also feeling deep joy, I guess I should mention the fact that, listen, I don't want to move my rustly jacket right now, but everyone who's seen me in the last week knows that I've been wearing my Harry Styles wristband ever since I saw Harry Styles. And I just feel like I've been, my oh yay in general is I've been reconnecting with the teenager inside me. I've been really emotionally dependent on Harry Styles, on One Direction, listening to the entire back catalogue, on the Beatles, even Florence the Machine.
Oh, you've been listening to so much Florence and the Machine. And
yes,
I love it.
and Vampire Weekend. I just feel like I'm reconnecting with all the things that made me happy when I was a teenage girl.
Okay, but when you posted Hunger on your Instagram story, I was like, should I call the police? Like, are you okay?
That one specifically is such a tough listen, but also every lyric rings true.
Yeah, it is chilling.
And I think that's
It's
true
so
for
good.
every woman in their late adolescence to late 20s.
We all have a hunger. I could not relate to that more.
Yeah.
It's scary how she sees us.
Oh, she sees.
She
I
sees
guess
deep
she
inside.
was one of us, as well as being semi-superhuman. But anyway, everyone should listen to Harry Styles' latest album because one thing I will say is I really, really hated all the bitches who didn't get this year's album.
I was one of them.
Yeah.
I was one of them at first.
It's the best thing he's ever produced.
Now I think you might be right there.
I truly think it's the best thing he ever produced because he doesn't care what anyone thinks about it.
How do you know that?
You know what? Hey, and I'm looking at you here. You can only make good art if you're truly free of other people's convictions about it.
And you learned that from him.
Yeah, I learned that from him.
How do you feel about the people, not to name names, Haley, who said that he didn't have a lot of energy on stage?
I think, Haley, that you saw him late in his Wembley takeover. And it's not my fault that I got there sooner than you did. And what I'd also say is if you are a man who's running a sub 3 hour marathon.
What?
Yeah, he's running sub 3 hour marathons these days. He is constantly running. He's been running to every Wembley show. So if he's a little bit
running to the show.
Yes, he's been pictured doing it. And if he's a little bit tired on stage, what have you achieved recently?
I do feel like if you're tired on stage, maybe don't run to the stage, because the most important thing is like being on stage.
I am not in this booth to justify Harry Styles' choices. I told you, he doesn't care what anyone thinks. He doesn't care about the feedback, including yours, Hayley. He's making art purely for himself.
And you know what? No, that's not true. And I'm glad it's not true. You know that man is not making art purely for himself. And nor should he be. Because I really loved all of the people posting that David Hockney quote that he has, which is the purpose of art is to share. You want to share something.
Yeah. No, yes. I guess he's making art to communicate a feeling. And he told us that at the concert. He said, we're all in this room together because we can make the world a better place by dancing and sharing something tonight.
Yes, I love that his message that he wants to convey is all about dancing.
It's pure joy in dancing.
Yes. It's always just have a little dance. Don't worry. I do love him.
Well, thanks. I love him
I don't
too.
have a bad word to say about him. And I'm so glad he's come into your life at this moment. I'm glad you're reconnecting with your teenage self in a positive way.
Myriad positive ways.
Oh, yay!
Yay!
That was our first segment called Oh Yay, where we just chat about stuff that we want to proclaim to each other.
I think largely things that have brought us joy in the last week.
Yeah, it's an oh yay. And if you don't get the play on words,
then you're not smart enough to enjoy or consume this podcast.
You should really look up Town Crier. Look up what Town Criers used to say, okay? Oh, yay. This is the second segment of the week, which is called the Proclamation Consultation, which is where your fellow Town Criers, that's us, we meet before our proclamation in the town square to chat and debate on what it is we're going to proclaim, because sometimes these things are difficult and we want to give you the best, most accurate proclamation we can. So let's discuss. What are you thinking of proclaiming today?
I think we should be discussing the concept of media literacy. But I think in order to do that, because we've been throwing that term about on this podcast in its short-lived history.
Like people are throwing that term about.
Yes.
In general, quite a lot. And it doesn't really make sense.
Well, it doesn't necessarily mean anything if we don't provide a definition.
Yeah. I'm so for that. Let's define media literacy in terms of the real definition of what it has always meant, but the way it's now evolving into the digital culture landscape and taking on a semi-new meaning.
Well, I think part of that, if I dare say it, is to do with the fact that our understanding of what media is has changed. Right? I think the reason we need to understand what media literacy is because we just have so many more ways of communicating with one another and sharing information.
Okay, so what the hell do we even mean by media literacy? And why should we care? Well, first off, it's kind of the reason we started this podcast, right? But secondly, because I would argue democracy is at stake. And intelligence. And everyone seems to be getting so much more stupid. So let's just go back to basics. Media literacy. What does it mean? It's actually kind of hard to pin down. Who coined the term? When we use it, we're talking about what American academic of communication studies Renee Hobbs defines it as, which is understanding different media forms, the way they operate, and what that means for society. The UK government, meanwhile, says it amounts to 5 key media literacy principles, which are privacy protection, understanding of digital environments, critical analysis of content, which is a big one, awareness of real-world consequences, and the ability to engage positively online. And for our purposes, we're very interested in the critical analysis of content bit, but less in privacy protection. For this episode, we're talking about what it means to critically think, essentially. So to break it down, that means reading images, sounds, texts, studying and considering them beyond just their initial surface level meaning and thinking a bit deeper, kind of like the analysis you used to do in your English literature classes. And obviously, I realize that is so much harder in the age of AI. So that's why this skill is so much more pressing.
Yeah, and there's also just so much more to actually analyze and look at. I love, that tweet, which is like, if a medieval peasant saw half the things we see today in their life, they would probably just kind of explode.
Yeah.
Well, I looked it up, and apparently even as far back as 2009, the New York Times was reporting on these findings by the University of California, which suggested the average American consumed around 34 gigabytes of data and information each day, which is an increase of 350% over 3 decades.
Oh.
Okay, so that was more than 15 years ago. So that was before Instagram, TikTok, and AI-generated fruit porn, which I have had to watch against my will a fair bit this week. And the problem with information...
This week?
Yes!
Why?
Pin in that, but friend of the pod, Taryn, is very into it.
No,
Taryn.
You keep taking that.
Taryn, I'm actually dropping you in it. I watched it
one.
too.
Oh.
So the problem with information exposure right now is it's all increasingly fast-paced, right? None of us are ever actually kind of lingering on it. We're flicking, we're scrolling down screens, and we're not actually reading what we see. And it's like Herbert Simon once said, by the way, I think everyone should learn this quote or get it tattooed on them. I think it kind of changed my life. He was a psychologist and economist who wrote a lot about kind of attention theory. And he said, in an information-rich world, the wealth of information means a dearth of something else, a scarcity of whatever it is that information consumes. What information consumes is rather obvious. It consumes the attention of its recipients. So a wealth of information creates a poverty of attention.
Oh, and that's what we're seeing.
That is what we're saying.
Like, attention is the new currency. Everyone is vying for it because we just don't have it. We don't have the attention spans.
Mm-hmm.
We don't have the brain cells anymore.
Yeah, and that's why it links back to democracy, because it's only by understanding the source of our information and looking at it from every angle to kind of check for biases that we can apply that information safely, right?
Mm-hmm.
Actually, what I found also kind of whack when I was researching was that America, which is famously thriving as a democracy right at this particular moment in history, has it's passed like multiple bills at state level on teaching media literacy in schools. More than half of US states have taken action, but the UK has no equivalent legislation. So there is like a lovely little collection of resources on gov.uk to help citizens, quote, stay safe online and get the most from digital life. It's very cute, but it's completely useless.
And like, even if we were to start teaching media literacy in schools, would it be the same sort of information where it's stay safe online, we're going to teach you surface level stuff and we're not going to dig any deeper? Like, it really needs to be, we need to be studying reels in the way that we had to study Animal Farm. But it's a huge upheaval of the current curriculum. So I wouldn't even trust the government to come up with something substantial.
Yeah, and this is what teachers are saying. So apparently they don't have the training or the time in the curriculum to actually address the problem. And also, obviously, the technology is moving so quickly that it's hard to kind of educate kids on how to read an AI-generated image or whatever else. But
I do think it's unfair to expect teachers to know that or to know how to teach that. That's a whole nother course to me.
Because loads of adults don't know how to kind of source verify.
I think we're all at the stage where it's all going too fast. And I do think it's interesting, now on ads, when we consume television, real content, like you'll send something to a friend and they'll reply, that's AI. This has become this huge buzzword, but we don't actually know when it is or when it isn't. Like, we're using our best bet of what the technology is capable of at the moment, but the technology gets better every day. So I never know if it's AI.
And what I find really interesting is that people find it, particularly kind of in our social circle, which is probably left-leaning and young and liberal, people find it really easy to say about a newspaper article from maybe a right-leaning news organization. They say, oh, well, I don't trust it because that's X newspaper. But I do think the difference is like in a functional democracy like the UK, newspapers have to do their due diligence in terms of reporting the information they offer. They have to be, to all intents and purposes, accurate, so they avoid getting sued. And you don't have to do that online. It's a completely wild west. You can present the information as you wish.
In the same way, in the TV industry, obviously there are so many compliance rules, regulations to follow that just doesn't apply online. You can put whatever you want out there, even if you are like a trusted brand. It's just you're not following the same set of rules. The rules don't exist.
Yeah, so I guess, what would you say for you personally being media literate means? Because I guess for me, what I'm ultimately driving at is it's maintaining a healthy degree of skepticism about everything.
Yes, I think it's skepticism. And I also think it's important not just to fall into the generalization that media literacy is just knowing when something's AI or not. It's because I watched this really funny video, which I will link to, about like the state of media literacy today. And it's like this comedy sketch where this guy comes in, shows his friend a picture, and it's a celebrity that is getting some bad press at the moment, or like the friend doesn't really like, and they're making a joke. And because the friend doesn't like them or has these assumptions about who the person is, they take the joke very badly and they just assume that the person is stupid, they're not joking, that the tone is completely different. And they show the same friend, like basically the same image, but a celebrity that they love. And they're like, that's hilarious. Like, of course. Like, again, it's kind of that parasocial relationship, as in you're assuming a lot about what someone posts online. Like like when they post something, even if it's visual, you don't know what the intention is. You don't know what the tone is. You are bringing so much of your own biases to the table. And whether that's in a meme or a political post, you really need to be careful. And I see it happening to me all the time. Like Olivia Rodrigo posted about like starting a music festival.
Oh, yeah.
And I was like, God, that is amazing. I mean, she is just the most wonderful person, isn't she? But that was all my biases and assumptions that I've made about her before. If a different celebrity made the same post, and I'm not going to name drop Taylor Swift here, but because
I'd have a different response.
Yes, it would. I would have a completely different response. And I think that that's really important, to be able to catch yourself out and say, hey, wait a second, like, look at what I'm doing right now. I am a person who is not immune to bias. I am not immune to propaganda. Like, it's stopping yourself all the time and checking in. And that's really hard to do when most of us are using social media to unwind. We're trying not to think critically because we just want to relax and doom scroll a bit. So it's really hard.
Wait, and can I tell you, I think one of the more terrifying things I found out when I was doing research, Parliament's Communications and Digital Committee found, I think it was last year, that nearly half of adults in the UK using social media say they've come across a news story that is misleading or untrue, but only 45% are confident they can judge whether the sources of information are trustworthy. And only 30% feel confident judging whether content is AI generated. So it is actually a problem not just for the children in schools who America is trying to educate, but for us.
I think kids might be better than us.
I think they might be better than
at
us.
practicing skepticism in the content they consume. I definitely have to check myself, but growing up with it might come more innately because they are constantly being fed misinformation. It's just something they've grown up with. I think that we were part of the generation, and especially like people older than us are part of this generation where if you see something and it's kind of seems like a trustworthy thing, you'll just believe it, especially because the birth of social media coincided with this amazing, immediate, instantaneous communication form where it was kind of more trustworthy because it was so immediate. So, oh my God, why do I want to bring up when Ollie Murs was in a shooting in the mall?
Oh my God, no, but true, because it's like a contemporaneous, quote unquote, witness account.
Yes, and it's almost like we were so innocent. Nobody really thought about being disingenuous when they were posting it.
It's so
It took a little minute to be like, wait, I can lie? And now people are lying all the time, and strategically so. But I do think that like there was this moment on the internet where you could trust a lot of things and you were getting that information so fast before the news that I I'm more likely to trust it. It's so difficult.
But then conversely, I was just thinking, I guess it's reassuring to know that the internet has just given more avenues for lying or manipulating information, but the will was always there, right? Like I remember when I did history GCSE, we did like Russian history, and I remember my head being so blown by the the fact that Stalin was always just getting like people to cut people who'd become his enemies out of pictures with him. You know, he would just literally, he would just do like 20th century airbrushing or whatever and just cut them out. And I hadn't realized that was even a possibility back then. But everyone has been doing this for a very long time.
Yes, and I do think that's a really interesting point about media literacy, because that's what it means as well. It's about knowing that. It's about, like, in World War II, when you're learning about propaganda and you realize what that means and all the posters, and it's the first time that you've kind of learned that this is strategic communication to influence people.
Yeah.
It's like the first time you read Noam Chomsky and you're like, what? Yes, and it is the same old thing. It's the same old game. So we can study it in terms of, like, I think examples like that are really good for the basics. If we look at history when we didn't have all of these communication channels, and it's literally just like World War II propaganda, Stalin cutting people out of photos, like, if that is the base, then I think it's really helpful to understand what's going on in the 21st century. The motives haven't changed for lying and manipulation and profit and power.
It's literally just the opportunities have increased.
And the ease.
Yeah.
And it's, guys, it's tough because sometimes you take a picture and it's a really beautiful picture and you're like on a boat with your sisters and it's like the most beautiful picture you've ever taken, but there is a guy mid-sneeze in the background.
Yeah, and then you have a Google phone. Like,
and you have a Google phone.
And it says, you want to cut this guy out, or you want to cut out that awkward table leg? And you think, what harm can it do?
Yeah, but I've never done it because I understand the implications. Reality. Yes. But is that so bad? Because now I've just got people sneezing and table legs in my pictures. And
I guess you'd say people sneezing and table legs are part of the rich tapestry of life. But
you know what's funny? I would say it's fine to cut these things out if you go on Photoshop and you do it yourself the old-fashioned way. I'm talking lasso tool. Get every single point of that man, spend hours photoshopping it to oblivion until he's gone. For some reason, I'm like, yeah, go figure. Like, you're an artist. But just the ease of it is what scares me.
I think that is the scary thing.
But that doesn't make any sense in terms of my morals, because if somebody was manipulating an image for some sort of political gain and they spent hours on Photoshop, I wouldn't be okay with it just because of the hours they put in.
I don't think you'd be okay with it, but I do think there's something about how I think the minute things are more effortful, the less likely you are to take them on unthinkingly. Like, unfortunately, sometimes effort is the difference between committing an immoral act and not committing an immoral act. Do you not think that all the time?
Yes, that is such a good point. And in this space, I think that's certainly the case. I'm trying to think of other things that, because it requires effort, you wouldn't do it.
The example I immediately thought of was, like, I would always reference, if I were, you know, at university and we were writing a dissertation, we knew we had to reference because otherwise it's academic fraud. But if I'm posting a meme on my Instagram, I often haven't bothered to say who created it, which is technically an act of intellectual theft. But it's so easy for me to screenshot and post something.
And also, that is the online culture. Like,
it is.
It's very rare that people that post that type of image, aka consumable memes on Instagram, they don't get credited. I don't think they're expecting credit. Whereas, like, if you've written a paper and you're at university, like, I'm expecting credit for that.
Yeah. It is obviously different, but I think it is just like an example of how everything online is so without pause.
Yeah.
That you can just kind of behave in the most immediate way.
Yeah.
You know?
And you're encouraged to. So it's not to suggest that we're the ones that are going to solve this problem, but we are starting this podcast because we really do want to address this. This, to me, is like one of the most important things going on right now. And I want to discuss it. I want to create a community that cares about this sort of thing so that we can all try and help each other together. No one is immune to this. Unless you want to delete all your socials, but still, you got to learn media literacy.
Yeah.
And I feel it happening. I was trying to think about what I could be doing to be more proactive, because it's easy to be like, okay, so try and be more media literate. Off you go. Go on your phone and be literate. And it's like, okay, well, I'm looking at the content that I'm consuming. I'm thinking about who's posting it. Like, that's a good place to start. But I'm wondering if I can dig deeper and maybe practice in a more meaningful way. Like, I love seeing something on my phone that provokes a thought in me and then taking a shower. Because that way I can really think about what I've just seen and process it myself, especially because something really toxic that I know that everyone does, and I do it as well, so I'm not judging, but I do think this is a really interesting evolution of media illiteracy in the digital age. The comments section. How often are you looking at a post and immediately clicking on the comments? Like,
yes,
to kind of form your opinion for you. I have done this it took me so long to realize I was doing this, but I was literally just parroting the words that people would comment. And the top comment, it's like, well, there's my opinion. Thank you. And then I move on. Or sometimes I scroll and like all of them.
Oh, don't be liking the comments.
Oh my God, why? I'm liking the comments.
I am never liking the comments.
I'm like, and then once I posted a comment.
And what was it
I
on?
think you liked it.
Oh, I probably did.
Do you comment?
No, I never ever comment.
Yes. And I think that comments, in the same way as much of the online world, is manufactured for advertising and marketing purposes.
Yeah,
And
I
we're
definitely
not
think they are
realizing that.
manipulating the comments.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think that's a really insidious way that we are being exposed to propaganda today.
Oh, well, we can definitely talk at some point. I would love to do a future app on Justin Baldoni and Johnny Depp and that Hollywood PR agency, which is famously behind kind of generating alleged internet backlash.
I love it when you say alleged.
Alleged. I guess if your recommendation for combating media illiteracy is to spend more time thinking about what you've consumed, and I like that you said do it in the shower.
You don't have to do it in the shower. I would also recommend talking to a friend, going on a walk. But basically,
phoning your mom.
Take a beat.
So this was going to be my recommendation. Okay. I guess this is my declaration, if you will.
Oh, okay.
I think that we also need to broaden our media diet. And that's why I'm saying that I think it's about taking in coverage from a variety of sources, even ones that you don't naturally gravitate towards or agree with. I think you have to really push yourself. And I think you should be listening to the radio, listening to podcasts, reading a newspaper you wouldn't normally read, checking out things on Instagram that you wouldn't normally check out. And I think that you should also be making structured reading time a part of your week, like you were going to the gym. And I think that's the way to improve your literacy.
I mean, how often? I think we're going to end up saying this a lot, but it is so important.
Read.
You have to read. I don't even care what you're reading at this point. Read Colleen Hoover.
You can turn this podcast into a transcript and read it, but read something.
Read and then think about it.
Yeah.
Like, read that Colleen Hoover and then really ask yourself, was this good? The answer may surprise you.
Yeah.
But then it's about forming opinions. It's about critically thinking. It's about communicating your own ideas on something and defending those ideas.
Oh my God, yes. Start a club. Like, get all your friends together, buy a bottle of wine, and discuss these ideas that are occurring to you when you've been reading and consuming lots of media.
It is so much fun.
Yeah.
Oh, on that note, the Doom Scroll. Welcome to our third segment of the pod, the Doom Scroll. This is when we get given by our producer, Clive, a doom scroll every week, which is a real life scroll because we're Town Criers, and it will contain an online trend or something that's been happening on the internet this week. Yeah, breaking news, but in kind of a frivolous way. Something that you would consume when you're doom scrolling, and we're going to talk about it. So let's open the doom scroll this week.
Okay.
Oh my goodness.
Oh my God, you'll never believe it. Adam fucking Sandler, of all people, officiated Taylor Swift's wedding. What
the fuck happened? What happened last weekend? What went on? I'm so upset that I want to know.
I'm really upset because I think it is a true absence of chic. It is the death of elegance.
For those of you who are not online, Taylor Swift and Travis Kelce got married on the 4th of July.
At Madison Square Gardens.
And there have been some posts about that.
And I'm really sorry. I understand that she got married in MSG supposedly for security concerns.
Oh, really?
This is apparently the argument.
What do you mean?
So this was sibling of the pod, Phoebe Lutkers, defended it when I said...
I bet she would.
She would. She has a real parasocial relationship with Taylor Swift, if you're listening. And she said that apparently it was because you can access MSG from underground, right? So you can get guests in very easily, safely. Also, to be fair...
You can do that with McEwen Hall in Edinburgh.
Well, true say.
And she could have hired that out, no problem.
But so obviously they don't want paparazzi secretly getting pictures from above. So it meant that they had kind of a closed, restricted roof space because they can pull the roof over the stadium. And finally, because Taylor Swift had that terrorist threat in, was it Austria?
Yeah.
So apparently she was hyper vigilant about the security of the wedding. But I just think she is one of the richest women on the earth. She could have hired a crack security team to get married in Rhode Island or
okay,
a fucking beach.
Sure, these things make sense. These are real security issues, but only because you've chosen to get married in a very public space in New York City.
Yes.
You could just choose somewhere else. I can't stop the comparisons. I'm sorry. I really don't like speaking about these two because I'm parasocial and I really love them and I've got assumptions and biases. Did I mention that? But can we just talk about Tom Holland and Zendaya?
Oh my God, yes.
Compare their weddings.
No one even knows.
No one knows. She had a ring.
Yeah.
They're very giggly about it. Beautiful.
She clearly briefed Law Roach, her stylist, who was the one who accidentally, I think he deliberately dropped the information when Zendaya was ready. She told him, you can drop it now.
Yes.
And that is incredibly classy
and
to me.
I believe that's the only information we have about it. It's just they did get married.
Yeah.
At some point.
And they wanted to do it in their way, which was private.
Yes. And so it's very, very, very possible to be a high-profile celebrity couple when both of you are very famous and maintain privacy. You can just do that.
But is that the conclusion? She didn't want privacy.
Yeah. So
she's actually going to film
obviously
it.
didn't want privacy, and this is what pisses me off. Many things about it piss me off. But if you don't want privacy, which you clearly don't, you're getting married in Madison Square Garden on the 4th of July.
You're shutting down parts of New York to do it.
And hey, that's fine. But then don't be private. Let me see the photos.
Yeah. Well,
let me see the dress.
But that is the thing that annoys me the most is obviously we haven't seen anything yet, not a smidge, because she'll be saving it all for an exclusive Netflix deal.
I know.
And what did you think of some of the slightly random inclusions on the guest list?
Super random. Eric Stonestreet from Modern Family. Basically, I follow some very strange people on my Finsta. Whenever I binge watch a show, I just follow the entire cast. And they're all suddenly posting these very cryptic captions of it was rare I was there. I said I do and he did too. I don't know the lyrics of Taylor Swift songs anymore.
No.
And I would say, I think that our perspective on this matters because we used to be
major fans.
Huge Swifties.
And I find her... I have to say it. I find her rabid pursuit of money.
Yeah.
Quite upsetting.
I think this is my problem with her. It's when she made that documentary.
Miss Americana?
That's the one. Massive respect for her.
Yeah, huge
because
respect.
she cared about eating disorder awareness and democracy. And
Yeah.
they were like the main takeaways from the doc, I would say. I think she came off very well.
I think so.
I really liked what she stood for. Now,
I also think she has, since Miss Americana, she has actively kind of, I would say, like slightly subsumed her politics.
yeah. And I
in
do
order
wonder
to
why.
appeal to like a more MAGA America.
Well, I really wonder if there's more to the story. And this is my media literacy coming through. Because like Donald Trump hates her
Yeah.
and is very public about that. So I do feel like it might be more of a sticky situation than I can imagine. And her PR team are probably doing their best, and I don't know the ins and outs of that. But at the end of the day, I might be okay with that if she wasn't just so wealthy in, like, she's a billionaire, right?
She's a billionaire.
And I don't believe billionaires should exist.
Nor do I.
So...
And I just think, you can risk, earning ever more billions in order to declare, say, for Kamala Harris a little bit earlier than she did, which...
Yeah.
People shouldn't care about how Taylor Swift is voting, but it apparently did matter.
Yeah.
And if she'd maybe come out as a voting Democrat a bit sooner in that election cycle, potentially we could have seen a different thing.
Yeah, I mean, I'm always torn about how I want celebrities to interact with politics and how they do and where I draw the line. I think it's so difficult when you have that much influence over people's lives. Like, I understand the pull to be apolitical. I only want her to be political if she supports my politics, which is interesting.
Yeah, interesting.
So I don't know where I stand on that, but I think that all this aside, the wedding was distasteful.
It was distasteful.
I think we can say that. Okay, my biggest problem with the wedding, my God, just t&the married?
I hated
Who
that.
the hell copywrote that?
Well, that's what I was thinking. I was like, if you worked in advertising and you submitted this, you would probably lose your job. But like, it's not legible. It doesn't make any sense because no one says just t&t.
Yeah.
It's not a phrase.
No. And it's like, how are you supposed to say that out loud? It reminds me of that scene from Succession. Oh my God, it's like the funniest scene ever. It's like Tom has to announce like a new product that they have, and he's doing this big speech, and the tagline of the product is, "We here for you."
Oh my God, yeah.
And him and Greg are like brainstorming backstage. They're like, "We here for you. We here for you. We here for you." And that's what I was doing with the Just t&the Married. I was like, Just t&the Married. Just t&the Married. Like, what the fuck?
Can I say, besides that insane marketing slip up, I would also say the thing that annoyed me about their wedding was the fact that they like trailed it with Prince William appearing on Travis Kelce's podcast. And then Buckingham Palace had to come out and be like, Prince William and Kate are not attending the wedding. I was like, so what was the point in all this then? Why is he on the bloody podcast?
Like, what is this strange campaign?
Yeah, it's so weird to me.
But his podcast is weird.
And they kept calling
Did you
him...
listen to it?
Well, no, I read a transcript. Yeah, because I was reading
she
it.
Practices what she preaches.
No, it's just like on the BBC News story about it. But they kept calling him Prince throughout. As in, like, not Prince William or
Just
like,
Prince.
they just kept calling him Prince, like, like the artist formerly known as. I just think,
like, it's your boy Prince.
yeah, it's like, it's your boy Prince. And I just think Travis Kelce maybe isn't all that bright, but.
And this is what my sister and I were pissing ourselves laughing, thinking about how it was probably Travis that came up with the Just t&the Married tagline. And you can imagine being like, babe, like, I got it. Like, Just t&the Married because we're both T's. And Taylor's like, babe! You're so smart. Yay.
And why, have you found this, that every straight man I know, the only Taylor Swift song they know from the last 3 years is that one, that ode she did to Travis Kelce's manhood. Would?
You've been speaking to straight men.
Straight men
about
are
this song?
obsessed with that song because I think they would love to believe that one day a woman in their life will be so public about their own appendage.
And this is why I think she's a terrible feminist.
We're coming for her, but we need you to know we actually were massive Taylor Swift
No,
fans.
we were. I also think if you're having a wedding in a stadium, surely it's like about the fans. Like you should invite fans. Like Madison Square Garden, like seats like 20,000 people minimum. Like I don't know, but there's a lot. So like, why don't you use it as a stadium and like get married publicly?
Well, because they built a venue inside the venue. Did you hear about this?
But why?
Yeah, I know.
What's the
It's
point?
absolutely bizarre. I don't know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So no,
yeah,
I'm saying
not fans.
We're not fans of that, but hey.
Obviously, when we get married, it will be incredibly chic.
Oh my god.
We'll invite all the podcast listeners because by that point we'll be selling out
Madison
McEwen
Square.
Hall.
Oh my god, I'm gonna have to start copywriting our slogans. I just think it's such a waste when she has so many of those lyrics that everyone uses captions.
know.
Like, why don't you just put "It's a love story"?
Yes, it's so obvious. Yeah.
And that's the doom scroll
doom
of
scroll
the week. Thanks so much for
Okay.
listening. You good? You feeling okay?
I'm feeling good. Are you feeling good?
Yeah, I'm feeling a lot better about this. I'm feeling like we did a good job on the podcast.
I think, hooray, we just acclaimed.
Yay! Okay, cool. Let's cut it there then.
Nice. I think that's a good way to end an episode. Hooray, we just acclaimed.
Yeah, I think
It's like a rhyme.